Charlie Parker, aka Bird, is rightfully remembered as a musical genius and arguably the finest saxophone player ever. But like countless other visionary artists, he struggled with mental illness, and you can hear it in his music. In December 1945, alto saxophonist Charlie Parker flew to the West Coast to play some gigs with trumpeter Dizzy Gillespie. But Parker stayed behind in LA when the rest of the band headed back to New York. Around this time, he was just starting to record as a solo artist and gaining notoriety as one of the geniuses behind the rise of bebop. But as an individual, he was beginning to fall apart. His then wife pointed the finger at clinical depression. Others have laid the blame on heroin withdrawal. The quality of the junk in LA was apparently not as good as the stuff in New York, and it led Parker to drink heavily to compensate, or so they say. By the time Bird walked into the studio in late July of 1946, he was clearly not well. Some stories claim that he was very drunk, others that he was suffering a nervous breakdown. Rumor has it that the situation may have been exacerbated by producer Ross Russell putting amphetamines in his coffee to keep him up for the session. Whatever the cause, stories say that Parker was so disassociated that he needed to be physically propped up in front of the microphone. He would record 4 different cuts during those sessions, barely making it through. Later that evening, he would set fire to the curtains in his hotel room, leading to his arrest and a lengthy stint in Camarillo State Mental Hospital. Bird would never forgive Ross Russell for releasing those recordings. But here's the thing about that session. At one of the lowest, most difficult moments of his life, Charlie Parker recorded a song, a tortured version of Lover Man, that would become a highlight of his recorded catalog and a significant part of his legend. Charles Mingus called it his favorite Parker solo ever. The man couldn't stand on his own power, but he could still play his horn, straight from his heart. You can hear it in our Bird at His Best playlist on Spotify. It's still wrenching. And to think, it was recorded by a man who is literally teetering on the brink. It's a big part of why